Okay, things are getting rather interesting at this Portland federal building. If you're unaware, protesters and federal agents have been clashing every single night for well over a month now.
I am an American citizen.
So, the city of Portland is officially being sued for not handling the protester situation. The city of Portland also supports the protesters, and the federal government has had enough. They are now looking into the situation in Portland because it's getting so severe. So we have a lot to cover. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well, and people need to see what's happening in Portland right now.
On Saturday, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche called out Prairieland, Texas and Portland, Oregon, saying in part the department has zero tolerance for assaults on federal officers or property.
Okay, if you're new here, you need to understand this is a very big deal. This means the gloves are off for the federal agents at this building. This building has had garbage cans with fire thrown at it. Protesters have vandalized the entire building, and these federal agents are on their own. And since the city of Portland is not really supporting these federal agents, in fact, they're trying to get rid of their permit in the city, we'll get to that later, this is why a zero tolerance policy is huge for these federal agents.
Remember, if they start acting like dicks and shooting shit at you, just hide behind, honey. You can use her privilege over here.
Okay, this is crucial, and this is how we know the gloves are off for the federal agents. Honey Badger Mom, go support her on X, go follow her. She was able to capture a moment where two people were using spray paint. I had to censor out what they were doing, using spray paint on the driveway of the federal building. They were arrested. This was never a thing a month ago. These protesters were able to pretty much do whatever they want, but the two people were arrested, and the person who provided the graffiti, they were also arrested.
Sure you don't want to shoot us in each other? You guys gonna be okay?
The groups allegedly printed flyers that included details like addresses, photos, and details about the officers' families. The department says attacks on immigration officials have risen significantly since President Trump took office.
Okay, if you're following this story, you are well aware that surrounding the Portland building, all of a sudden, the faces of agents started popping up, and their family members and their personal information. Well, now the Trump administration is fully aware of what's happening. There is an investigation into who's behind this, and the city of Portland, their response, well, they still seem to be more concerned about the building's code and the contracts of ICE.
A lot of different opinions about what to do.
Councillor Samir Kanal and his colleagues getting an earful about removing the South Portland ICE facility's permit.
Which side are you on?
But Kanal says there could be grounds for permit removal, with some allegations being made about permit violations.
Basically, the accusations are that Homeland Security broke a contract. Whenever somebody is housed in this facility, they can't be there for over 12 hours, and the contract has been broken under the Trump administration and Biden administration. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can update you guys on this story, because Tom Homan is coming to town. He could care less about these contracts. He could care less about the political side of things. He wants to protect his agents and allow Homeland Security to do their job.
And President Donald Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, told reporters Monday ICE agents will be doubling, even tripling down in sanctuary cities.
We know they're releasing public safety threats and national security threats to the streets every day because they don't honor our detainers.
Okay, so the city is well aware the Trump administration is not happy with Portland. The city of Portland is well aware of how chaotic this situation has become. You're probably wondering, where are the Portland police officers? Why are they not assisting, or at least trying to calm the situation down? Well, that's why the city is now being sued.
The lawsuit aims to get the city to enforce its noise ordinance. It claims residents have called PPB about the noise often, but says they're not taking serious action.
is the lawsuit's really about asking the city why. Why aren't you coming to help the people in this community who are experiencing this? This is beyond free speech. This is not protected speech.
Interesting enough, Cloud actually has an X account, and she's been showing us all of the receipts, the 911 calls, the videos of all of the loud noises, but I also want to show you guys this. Check this out.
Outside the ICE facility in South Portland, showing camps have been cleared out and protesters gone. This happened in the last several hours. When our crews were there earlier in the day, we did see camps and tarps and other supplies. Well, now it's all gone. Portland police say they don't clear camps, but do provide security during these actions.
That's right. The city hires people to take down these camps, but the police officers are still in the area. However, they don't actually put their hands on the camp. You can leave your comments down below how you feel about that. I was asking a reporter on the scene, do the police really just stay away from all things Homeland Security? And basically the response I got was, look, the police, they show up and they do monitor the area, but they really try to stay away from this entire situation, as far as actually making arrest and physically getting involved with the protesters.
Get away from him!
This is where things get interesting. Katie Davis Court on X, go follow her, go support her. She was able to capture a moment where a man had to pull a knife out in self-defense, which, by the way, in the state of Oregon is completely legal. They have pretty relaxed laws when it comes to that, actually. But the interesting part is the protesters, they were not relying on the Portland police. No, they were appealing to the federal agent saying, hey, he has a knife on federal property. What are you doing? But oftentimes when we watch these clips of protesters and these federal agents clashing, you ask yourself, where are the police? Why are they not helping out? And this is just another example of these protesters can't even appeal to the local police. They have to ask the federal agents for help that they are protesting.
Yeah, as you guys mentioned, the tarps, the supplies, they were stacked up to here on this fence. There were about a dozen people that were staying here every day for the past month, as you mentioned. And then you saw in that video, Rapid Response clearing out that camp. Just a couple hours ago, we were here talking to some of those protesters about the lawsuit you mentioned. It was filed by a neighbor just across the street over noise she said is coming from these protests.
And again, even the local news is saying the encampment has been there for a month, and now all of a sudden the city is getting rid of it. But I want to point out that is 1 month of sustained protest. Supplies coming into this encampment, going to the protesters. Once the clashes are done, you resupply, you rest at this encampment, and then you just start again. This is why the Trump administration is saying, look, we're coming to town to figure out what exactly is happening here.
There's a broad statement about doesn't pose a safety risk. The use of chemical munitions is a safety risk. The one that's more specific is the rule against longer than 12-hour detentions or overnight detentions. There's allegations that has multiple times been broken in terms of which is effectively a pattern being alleged of keeping people longer than that.
So here's the thing, more and more people are picking up on this story because when you start to see city councilors address the fact that, look, we know there's tear gas in the area, but that's the fault of this building, and not even mentioning the protesters, we're starting to see things like this.
Also, I want to apologize to the residents for having to come down here and do this. You guys deserve better than what the Portland Police Department is providing for you. The Portland Police Department should be down here enforcing this domestic terrorism, and they're not. So instead, I have come to deliver a message of hope. And I hope that the big booty Latinas will stand!
Okay, so that was Matthew Adams. He has a YouTube account if you want to go subscribe, and he also has an X account, and you can go see some more behind the scenes of his protest. Now, obviously, there's some humor behind what he's doing, but at the same time, he's really highlighting what's happening here. About 30 days ago, not a lot of people were tracking what was going on at this federal building, the constant clashes, but now that more and more people are picking up that the city of Portland is really talking more favorably about these protesters and not so much about the residents who live across the street, more and more civilians are showing up and speaking their mind, letting the city of Portland know, hey, you guys need to be helping out the people who live across the street, and you also need to be addressing these protesters who are clashing with the federal agents every single day.
Asking a judge to compel officials to take action on the excessive noise that she says was so loud it caused her ear to bleed.
This is straight up a lawsuit to ask a judge to tell the city, do your job.
We spoke with other people who live in Elvin Grell's building, and one neighbor, Tim Polk, said he understood her plight.
And again, the only reason why we have this lawsuit is because Cloud actually showed up to the front of this building to confront the protesters herself after she called 911. After she took all of the chains of command she was supposed to be doing, she confronted the protesters, they made fun of her, and now she is suing the city because of how far this has gone.
At nighttime, there's a lot of people who are just living here like 24 hours a day. It's been like a month and a half now, them just screaming, using megaphones, and they have air horns going on, and they'll I've tried talking to people and they just start screaming at me. It's like just super aggressive, really inconsiderate of the neighborhood.
Polk says there is a fear in the neighborhood amid the protest, and he says that fear caused him to decide to get a taser to stay safe.
And look, it's not the job of federal agents to protect the neighborhood they are in. That is the job of the city. But as we know, when it comes to sanctuary policies, and this is why I started making these type of videos, these policies have created a divide. And this is a clear example of a federal building that is a mere maybe 50 feet away, maybe 100 feet away from the nearest resident building. But because of sanctuary policies, these police officers have to stay away. They cannot help with stopping these protesters or calming everyone down. The situation escalates so far, there's tear gas, there's loud noises, and that's affecting these residents. But the point is, with these sanctuary policies, these police officers, their hands are tied behind their backs because they're not supposed to be helping Homeland Security.
Don't want to tase somebody, but when you got crazy people running around, getting in your face, screaming, when just around, directly outside the door of where you live, not a whole lot of other choice.
However, another neighbor says all this could change if the city made one decision.
To me, the cause of all of this is the ICE facility. Our city can revoke the permit to ICE. The protesters are out here because they do not want ICE in Portland. It doesn't represent the Portland values. So if the city revokes the permit for ICE, then guess what? The facility goes away, and so does the noise.
And by the way, if you're new to this story, this was never a solution. The solution was never a few days ago, hey, we're going to possibly get rid of the building and cancel the contract. There was never a solution until out of nowhere, an investigation found that there were some cases where the contract has been broken, and now this could be where we can get rid of ICE, and finally the protesters are gone.
That's the day after Portland police say 4 more people were charged with assaulting federal officers during the ongoing protest in South Portland on July 4th. That's 4 of 22, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, since June 13th.
You heard that correctly. 22 people have been arrested for assault since June. But the point I'm trying to make is, and I want to be very clear here, I'm not hating on the Portland Police Department. These guys already have a very difficult job. It's hard to be a cop. It's already hard to even get people to want to be a cop. But when it comes to the Portland police, they're not arresting anyone. They're not even creating these roadblocks. They're hardly giving out any warnings. All of the enforcement is being done by these federal agents in the area.
Being nice to you, fuck, because you said you would release me early, and you did, but no more. No more. I'm just gonna be nice if I go back there again. You fucking bitch! Shut up now! Shut up now! Shut up now! Shut up now! Yeah, you can. That's all you're talking, you dumb bitch. Calm that down. I'm the DHS agent. The only thing DHS cops is a dead DHS cop. You fucking useless fuck.
That was captured by Katie Davis Court. Again, go support her because that footage really showcases what these federal agents are facing every single day and night 24/7. These federal agents, they face this every single day, 24/7. Whether it's the leaking of their personal information, whether it's the protesters yelling it's better for them to not be alive anymore, every single day, day and night, 24/7. But again, as I report this story, it's been quite a roller coaster because now it looks like the momentum is shifting in the favor, again, of the Trump administration and these federal agents. I mean, the city has no choice but to start to disrupt these encampments, to start to address what's happening here. Make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can give you guys more updates on this story. Make sure to please like the video so others can be informed and educated as to what's happening here. Thank you guys so much for being here. God bless, and we'll see you all later.